Hey everyone, welcome back to Jams, the podcast where I sit down with a mate and discuss an album of their choosing. This week, I discuss a Stooges self-titled album with my good friend and fellow music lover, Shianne. We get into why this is one of the most important albums in regards to punk music, Cheyenne's love for all things 70s, why Iggy Pop is one of the most strange but amazing frontmen ever, and why you should listen to this underrated album. With all that out of the way, let's cut to Shianne and I talking about the Stooges. Anyway, I guess we can just start now. Finally, after I was meant to be here at 1 o'clock and that just never happened.
Who cares, Time's not real.
Time's not real.
Who cares?
So this is the 7th episode of Jams.
Yeah,
which is
huge. The number 7.
The number 7, also the best number.
Funny.
Funny number.
But not to normal people, just our group.
Yeah.
Something wrong with us. We think it's funny.
I think Brito and I just started saying number 7, funny. So we're talking about the Stooges today. The Stooges self-titled.
Yeah.
So why the self-titled? Because they have 3 records and also have Raw Power, where I feel like Raw Power is a bit more well-known. So why the first debut album?
I struggled thinking about which album for ages. And it's not going to make a sense. Yeah. But here we go. Raw Power. It's formulaic, in terms of an album should be, got the bangers, slows down, picks up again. Yep. Formulaic rock album. Yep. And the few songs are the higher quality than the self-titled, but self-titled as a whole is a better cohesive album, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to justify it all week and I'm like, I'm going to mess this up.
Yeah.
It's explanation because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think I listened to self-titled more. The thing is, when I was going to college, it was soundtracked my way through it because it sucked. And I was just obsessed with the 60s and 70s because I reckon I'm romanticizing it, but it looked like a way better time to live in. And I don't know, it's just raw, naive, not blues. That's how all the music was around the 60s. It was blues and jazz. And then the Beatles came and then they started to spice things up and bring rock to more of a white people genre because it originally started with African-American clubs and the blues. Right. So they just kind of took it and just flipped it and made it psychedelic. That's kind of why I like it, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's like garbage, but in a good way.
So how long have you been a fan of the Stooges and Iggy Pop?
When did I go to college?
Because
that was 4 years of uni, and then I took a year break, and then the college year before that. Right. And it was a weird crossover. I was into David Bowie towards the end of high school, and then it started across, and then since they were best friends, it led me to him. And around the end of high school, started college 6 or so years ago. Oh, I'm old. That's where it started, and I just kept going and learning the origin of punk rock and, psychedelic music.
Because the Stooges really pioneered punk rock, basically, right? They were sort of the godfather of it.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls Iggy.
Yeah.
I just like it. It's just sometimes you just want to hear screaming and just guttural, raw sounds coming from a human being, but to a sick, riff. And that's all it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's simple. It's hard trying to recommend it to other people because they're when you look through old music through a modern lens, you're like, why is that special? It sounds really lame and basic compared to what we have today. But given the context, it gets way better. Right. It's all about, I think it's half its context and just how unique it was at the time. Yeah,
no, definitely. And there still hasn't been anything else similar to Iggy Pop. He's such a strange
strange man.
Yeah.
Even the name, because it originally started, they had a band called the Iguanas. That was early 60s. And they were like the Beatles. They were a bit soft.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, he was just like, whatever, let's just move on and do this really deep down, raw anger and just explode. And that's where he linked up with the Ashton brothers. They were on the guitars, or one is a drummer and a guitar.
Yeah.
I'm probably messing it up.
Yep.
And they're just some boys from the Midwest. And as young adults, you're just kind of like angsty. So they just let it express that through their music. And they just went in that direction, which pioneered a lot of stuff. And just taking inspiration from jazz and blues and the Velvet Underground.
Right.
Lou Reed was a big inspiration for all these people.
Yeah, because like they did some songs with Nico, didn't they? Wasn't Nico sort of around?
Iggy dated Nico for a while. Yeah, they were.
Right.
Yeah, and she was really cool. And that led into like the art scene of New York, Andy Warhol, those sort of people.
Yeah.
And they were just some dudes. They're like, what the hell are we here?
Yeah.
Iggy felt it. He had this star power about him. But the rest of them were just so totally lost. I feel bad for them. But that's why he went solo eventually, because he had the star power and the rest were feeling it.
Right. I think I watched a documentary about, I think it wasn't called Raw Power. It was
that one's so good. I watched it a few years ago. Oh my God. It's so good.
Yeah. And like in that, the guitarist was like, oh yeah, I was like couch hopping and like I had no money. And then Iggy called up and said, oh yeah, David Bowie wants to like meet up. Yeah. So like he was on a flight to the UK to go like meet David Bowie. Like,
and he's just like, what?
Yeah. Like what's going on? Like,
that's so cool. Just thinking about how they just linked up through just inspirations from each other, and the Velvet Underground was the real thing that linked them, and then they became besties and produced each other's albums for a while, and then they had a falling out. I'm not sure about if it was one specific situation or this girl part.
Right. Was that with Bowie or Velvet Underground?
Oh, Bowie. Oh, right. Underground they're just chilling. They're just like they're just playing music, and a lot of people are like, this is amazing, and they're like, okay.
Sure. All right. Yeah.
we're just playing, and it just inspired so many people.
Right. Because I'm surprised that there is so many mixes of all of the Stooges albums. Like it's
so interesting. Like what is going on?
Yeah. Like, do you know why they keep like redoing that? Like it's like
they had the original.
Yep.
And then they had a producer, John Cale, I think his name was. He remixed a lot of the Self-Titled and Funhouse.
Yep.
I think just because, and also they had different visions, because Iggy wanted his voice to be the forefront.
Yep.
And everyone else kept watering it back, and he was just like, bruh, no.
Yeah.
And then David Bowie originally mixed Raw Power, and he remixed it in the 90s. Iggy, because the falling out, and also he's like, this is my album.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. They sound quite different when you put them side by side.
Yeah. It's because I remember you picked up a record, didn't you, that has the two different mixes on it? Is that this what we're looking at? The Raw Power? Yeah.
Raw Power starts Bowie, because that was done in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then the 90s, Iggy redid it because, they're not friends anymore. And again, wanted his voice to be the forefront, because he's like, this is my band. I'm the dude.
Yeah, I'm the dude. I'm Iggy Pop. Yeah, like, what mix did you like the most? Like, in general, do you like the Iggy Pop's more centric, like his vocals are louder, or do you prefer the other mixes where you can hear the band a bit more?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think Iggy's mix more.
Yep.
Because it's sharper, crisper, and his voice is more distinguished from the band.
Yep.
It kind of detracts from the chaos and working with the band, though. That's the Bowie mix, and I respect it.
Yeah.
But I like the Iggy mix sounds better. Right. Yeah, because it's just sharper.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. It's especially when you like an album so much, it's like all the mixes are just amazing.
It's all good, and you feel like an asshole. Yeah. Being like, I like the latest mix better, even though the magic's in the first one. It's the time, place, the context. That's the special bit about it.
Yeah. It's good that they have like different almost personalities to it, where like sometimes, you know, when they like not remix, sorry, but like they reproduce an album and it sounds basically exactly the same as it did in the 70s. So it's just like, I don't know, maybe a little bit clearer.
Yeah, slightly clearer. That's the remastered versions of things.
Yeah. And so it must be nice to have sort of like three or four, however many actual mixes there are, but they're all distinct enough so you can have different experiences with those mixes.
Yeah. And they have all the weird outtakes and like different versions and studio versions of various songs in all the albums.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
You have it on Spotify and there's a massive list and you're like, this album's huge. It's like maximum 8 songs. And they just redid it and we're like, here's some random dialogue from the studio. We'll just have fun, whatever. I'm going to include it.
Yeah, like super casual.
Just the boys.
Just the boys just hanging out, just making a record. Yeah. Like, because I haven't listened to a Stooges album like top to bottom before. Like I've heard some Stooges, like, but I'm not like the biggest fan overall. So going into like listen to the first album, I was just sort of surprised with Iggy's like repetitive sort of nature. I didn't know it was that prominent. I'm not sure if that follows him in his solo career, but especially in Stooges, like he stays within like those couple lines.
Yeah. I feel real bad. Yeah. Recommending it to people because like, it's super basic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just important to the time. And I like the sound. You kind of turn it down a bit and there's in the background.
Right.
And that's like the type of music, even though it probably shouldn't be, should be super loud because that's just what they do.
Yeah.
But the repetitiveness, that's just old music. People say that about the Beatles, which is true.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're good, listen to them.
Right. Yeah.
But especially at the start, 1969, it's just more like the claustrophobic energy of that song portrayed through that year for them, which is insane because it sounds like such an awesome time to live in.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was probably super boring. Probably was.
Right. Yeah.
But looking back on it, they were probably like, no, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But as a young person, during any time, things are boring.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
matter
exactly.
what.
Yeah.
And it's just drudgy and claustrophobic, and that's portrayed through the riffs and the repetitiveness.
Like and it goes into like I Want to Be Your Dog, like the second song, which such a good song.
Such a good song. It's the best song. Oh my god.
And the only reason I know it, I think, is because Chili Peppers play it live sometimes.
Oh, do you say?
Yeah. It's one of their songs that I have in rotation.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I would have been so sick. I didn't know they played it.
Yeah, but the actual song itself is really solid. Like,
easily one
great.
of my favorite songs of all time. The riff is huge.
The intro and then like the jingle bells almost.
Whatever
it is. Yeah.
Bells.
The bells, yeah.
The guitarist just played it. I think he was just knocking out riffs on acid and borrowing unashamedly from other bands. They played it all the time. It's in the book. They just didn't give a damn.
Yeah. They just stole whatever.
They just stole, but it was fine.
It's like Jet, but actually a good band. I know you got some strong opinions on Jet.
Oh, okay. That's another conversation. Why am I being so hard with it? I feel so bad. They're Australian.
Yeah.
We should respect them. But bro, you just stole Lust for Life and made it way worse. Because that song is unreal.
Yeah, like Lust for Life. That is an amazing song.
That's such a good song. It's just like instant turn up. I'm wigging out. The intro is like a minute long.
Yeah.
That's fine. I love it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, when does singing start? I'm like, shh.
We've got like
Enjoy
50 seconds left. Yeah. We'll get there. It doesn't have to be like straight away.
It's the journey.
And do you have any favorite songs in the album? Like, would it be I Want to Be Your Dog, or that just
no cap?
Yeah.
It's just such a heavy riff, and they just made it, and they just knew that it was going to be a hit.
Yeah, right.
And it's supposed to be a love song.
Is it?
Yeah, lyrically, it's a lovely song. Just being like, want to be adored by your partner, lay on their lap and be cute.
Yeah.
But then it's just the tone and the inspiration from Venus Fur from the Velvet Underground that made it like kind of saucy. So everyone's like, is it cute, sexual? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's both.
Yeah.
That's a
I mean, so many
relationship.
things. Yeah. Yeah, it's always interesting when music can have so many like different interpretations of it.
So many meanings. And it's just supposed to be a love song, but in like a raw way.
Right. Well, yeah, what do you think made the Stooges stand out so much? Like, what do you think made them want to make the music that they did? Because it was so not formulaic at the time.
No.
So left field.
They just came out of nowhere. They're just kind of that. They're from Detroit, and that place was like one of the hubs of music and underground clubs.
Yeah.
And African American clubs had jazz and blues, and the white people who were interested in it just kind of took inspiration from them and just turned it into something else.
Yeah.
That was about 69, but the Doors did their breakout hit in 67. So they were the real OGs. I love the Doors. Half of me was like, should I talk about the Doors? Because they really started it, borrowing, elements from the blues and just transforming it into a new age and just pushing it into the mainstream.
And then from the Stooges, we got like a million other bands that they have inspired.
But I feel like they're so not well known. That's partially why I picked them as well, other than loving them. Yeah, was they're just not as well known because I don't know. Everyone knows the Doors. Everyone knows David Bowie. Everyone knows how great they are. Mm-hmm. A lot of people make fun of the Doors because they have some questionable lyrics, and they were also a bit repetitive, but that's old music. Yeah. Same with the Beatles, and everyone's like, they're not that good. Right. They're overhyped. And I'm like, have you actually listened to the song? So these are like the unsung heroes of like rock and punk today. Yeah. That I want to keep bringing back. I want to do the opposite of gatekeeping. I'm gate opening. Like, please listen to this, pass this on to your kids, friends. Anyone who will listen. Please, because it will die without this. And that worries me. That scares me. Like, it's hard. I think even Iggy Pop as a solo career overshadows the Stooges. It does. It does, because he's such an enigmatic man. Yeah, definitely a character. He's a character. Yeah. And everyone liked his stuff in the 80s, Wild One. It's fun. I respect it. Yep. But this has just had more thought. Right. But probably didn't at the time. They're just on acid, like whatever, just knock this riff out and talk about how I feel and use phrases that we say every day. And it's whatever. But looking back on it, it's super inspiring. Just like super influential, like just the effect that they've had. That was what I'm looking for. Oops. Yeah, I think when you're comparing them to like Velvet Underground and like the Doors and stuff like that, you can see that they are inspired to an extent, but they definitely still did their own. They still sort of played their own path. They still did something different. They were inspired by, but they didn't just copy, which I think a lot of bands might have been doing at the time. Like when you see something like the Doors or anything, it would be easy, or the easiest thing would just to mimic that and just hope for the best. And that's worked for a lot of bands doing that in the industry. But it's interesting to see that they weren't even that popular when at the first release. Like it took them ages to get a following. At the time of the release, like in 69, they didn't, I don't know, weren't that big. It's I think if you were to look back now, you would assume that they're massive. You would assume that this is Iggy Pop, of course, they would be massive from the get-go because he was such a character and such a good front man. But it really wasn't the case. It definitely wasn't an overnight success for them to become well known. No, it's true. Yeah, they were just some kids and they were just I don't know, I'm just gonna play. Yeah. We're cool. People like it, but we're just going to play and figure it out. That's the beauty of doing music in the old days. You just play and just wing it, and it usually works out. Yeah. Or you pioneer a genre. Exactly. Whether you know it or not. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they weren't making the music thinking, oh, this is going to be super influential. This is going to inspire millions in the future type of thing. Yeah, not at all. But do you think, comparing the Stooges to Iggy Pop's solo career, do you think that the bandmates benefited him, or do you think that was more to his detriment? Good question. He was at his own detriment. He was a mess. He messed himself up pretty hard, and just for the hell of it, because of star power in life, is just super chaotic, hectic. People want you to do things, take this, go to things. So he was his own detriment. The band were really good together, I think, but you can tell they didn't want it after a while.
Okay,
they were just from the Midwest, so just some dudes, and they were just, we're not ready for this. And Iggy, he just was just like, let's go, let's keep going.
Right.
But he should have done that, though, because you'll be fading into obscurity if you don't.
Yeah.
They just absolutely send it. I respect him for it.
Yeah,
I reckon
definitely.
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just go for it. Be like David Bowie. You know, he had Ziggy Stardust and the Spider from Mars, and then he dropped that. The kind of the band and the persona, and just shot up. And that was good.
Right. I think they both, kind of like David Bowie and Iggy Pop, came from like, they made the music they wanted to make type of thing, where it's like with David Bowie with all these different amazing characters where like they all sound different from each other, and the only reason he did that is because he wanted to.
Yeah, he was just like, I know I'm special. He probably wouldn't, because he's probably not a douche. But like, he is special, and he just knows what he's doing. He has like all these thoughts and concepts.
Yeah.
And Iggy was the same, but just in a more chaotic, self-sabotaging way.
Yeah.
And he declined for a bit and then plateaued. Compared to Bowie, he just kept shooting. Everyone knows how great he is.
Yeah. It's a bit ironic considering, like, you know, I guess I can't say that Iggy Pop is the person, like, he has a fan base he does just because he did a lot of drugs back in the day, but like he was definitely a free spirit, and you know, if he was like lived like a straight edge life, then he probably wouldn't be the Iggy Pop that we know. It never makes sense. But then he would also not be his own detriment. So it's a bit of a hard situation. Where
reminds me of an old version of Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
In that, well, he didn't go solo, obviously. We know that, but like, I don't know, they have the same energy.
They do, yeah.
They mess themselves up pretty hard, but they just somehow pull themselves out of it, and they just work through it and just kept pumping out and doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But they just made it work, and despite all that, I think it had also inspired them, but also they made some weird stuff while on those drugs. As we know, with song 3, We Will Fall, 10 minutes of sounds. And I was like, I'm not listening to this.
Yeah, but
I have it on vinyl. Yeah. It's annoying because I can't skip it. You just kind of turn it down and zoning it out.
Yeah.
Until the other songs come back.
Yeah.
That was good and bad. All the drug taking and the self-sabotage.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not good. Don't do that.
Yeah.
This is
you heard it here on James.
This
Don't
is
do
PSA.
drugs.
Don't do it.
Do it. But yeah, like after We Were Four, like goes into like, no fun. But I enjoy No Fun more if I listen to We Were Four like the entire way through. Yeah. It makes me appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, true.
Like, wow.
Maybe that's why they did it.
Maybe, yeah. But it's like 10 minutes though. It's
10 minutes.
ridiculous.
I was just like, what the hell? No.
Yeah. No. Not even hitting it the second part of the album. Like that third song down.
Third song.
Right after I Want to Be Your Dog. Like
stuff.
the biggest. Yeah.
Some parts do sound kind of cool. The fact that it's 10 minutes and it's just this weird chanty thing.
Yeah. It's like I don't completely hate it, but I wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah. I'm here for tunes. Especially after I Want to Be a Dog.
Yeah.
You give me this.
Yeah. Well, I think Iggy mentioned in an interview I watched that he was saying like that was almost on purpose, that every other song on the album is quite similar to an extent, like very similar, like BPM and sort of similar vibe, and they wanted to break it up. Yeah. So it was intentionally they wanted to do something completely different.
Yeah,
a 10-minute song, a Shara La, where it's a chant type of thing. Yeah, like third song down, you know, but it does what it's intended on doing. I guess it does break up the album, and it's one of the songs you sort of remember because it is so different.
True.
You know?
And it makes you appreciate the rest.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. And so because I'm seeing book here. And what age was he here? Because we also have we have Stooges self-titled, Raw Power, and the book all in front of us, as you politely displayed for us today.
Yeah. I just have them.
Yeah, may as well. But you can see how different Iggy looks.
Yeah.
Especially like the three Iggy's that we're looking at here, like they look completely different. Like
very different.
In the self-titled, I barely recognize him.
Yeah.
Like I only know him because he's at the front.
Yeah. He's the guy.
Yeah. It's crazy that he went through such a transformation.
Yeah. And then he stayed at Raw Power, like flamboyancy and energy forever. But he just get older. And in that one, clearly he's quite old. He looks like a leather couch. His skin. He always plays without a shirt.
Yeah.
And no matter how old he is, he's also very physically fit though, so he can.
Yeah.
But he just found this style in the 70s and was like, this is it.
This is me now for the rest of
This is me, no shirt. That's why I also think him and Anthony Kiedis have the same energy, just like no shirt.
And they even look sort of similar.
Kind of long hair, yeah.
Yeah, they have a similar vibe. Yeah, no shirt. Yeah.
I don't know
That's
why.
what Anthony's going to be like when he's like, Iggy's age and like.
Super old.
Because how old is he? Is he in his 70s? 60s or something like that? Or does he just look old because of all the drugs he did back in the day?
Both. I don't know what it is. Yeah, he did all of it, but he should be very disheveled, but he's just like kind of still fit and larger than life on the inside and expresses on the outside.
Right.
Like everyone says before a show, he kind of like puffs up from the energy and he just transforms basically into like a character.
Yeah, the character.
And he just has that energy within him.
Yeah.
And he's always stuck with that. Then the self-titled is just like very 60s. Just stock standard. This is clearly like a remake of The Doors self-titled. It's the same, like Jim Morrison and everyone else is kind of around, sort of faded and just there.
Right, yeah.
It's just like copying each other.
Yeah, that's the way.
They all did it. They didn't give a damn.
And I think, even on I think Wikipedia, they were like, one of the first things like Iggy just admitting, we copied like so many other things for this album. Like, I straight up took this guitar riff and this and that. Like,
no one was upset, which is insane. She would get sued nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's super touchy.
Yeah, but back then, late 60s, which is whatever. Like he knew what would sound good. He's like, all right, I'm going to just go do that and just worry about that type of if they get pissed off at us, not worry about it later. Yeah, exactly.
Even their name, they actually contacted one of the guys from the Three Stooges and was like, is this okay?
Yeah.
And they're just like, as long as it's not named Three Stooges, go nuts. And they're like, sick, thanks. We're just some dudes.
Yeah.
Like in our 20s, 60s, who cares?
They probably thought these guys will be nothing anyway.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah. And then it turns out to be the Stooges. Yeah.
And I wonder if they felt different over time. I haven't know any information about that. So I wonder if they just saw him years later and was like, oh, damn, I remember that.
Right, yeah.
They asked me if that was okay. Now they're huge.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Well, they were never really huge per se. They were never playing in arenas until decades later. People looking back and being like, well, they were actually important.
Yeah, right. Because didn't they reunite in 2017 or something like that?
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
I have a shirt from that concert. I didn't go because I was too young.
Oh, no.
My sister did.
But yeah, being able to see Iggy Pop live, that would be something.
Yeah,
cool.
I should have done that.
I've seen Ozzy Osbourne live, and I only went, I'm not even a Black Sabbath fan, but I went to go see Ozzy Osbourne live just because it's Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah, how was it?
Really good. Oh,
really
yeah.
Good?
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
He still has that energy. And you're just my man, you are so old. You're incoherent when you speak.
Right. And he's still going on stage
doing the
killing
thing.
it. Yeah.
That's sick.
I feel like that would be the same way Iggy Pop would be the same.
Probably. I reckon he would. He would, no shirt, leather skin out, rocking the house down.
I went to JPEG Mafia. Peggy's energy was amazing. An hour and a half of him just yelling and crawling on the floor without a shirt on. And and then I watched Iggy Pop videos of him live. And it's that's really similar to what Iggy Pop used to do. Crawling on the floor with a dog collar and just yelling into the microphone. Peggy wasn't that dramatic, but there was,
On the way too. I didn't know he would be like that. That's sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His energy was amazing. Yeah. He really gave it his all. But like, yeah, imagine being able to see Iggy Pop or like the Stooges back in the day. Like when there was like 100 people in the crowd.
No, mental.
Yeah. And did you hear the story about how he broke his tooth?
Yeah, wasn't the photo shoot for that album? He jumped over. He split his chin.
Yeah, that's it.
In this album, yeah. And they airbrushed it.
Oh, was that actually like, I didn't know the photo was taken after that. Because like.
It was taken after somehow. It's in if you flick through the book, there's him diving over the rest of the band and they're all like, oh God, I'm going to get crushed. And then he probably smacks his face. Yeah. And his chin split, got a few stitches.
Oh my God.
Took the album cover and airbrushed it out. I keep staring at it and I'm like, where is it? Because that is some good Photoshop from the 60s.
Yeah, oh my God, that's right.
So he broke his face.
It broke his face. Like, I think he was like looking at some like girls in the crowd or something like that, and they were like looking as if they were going to catching him. So he was like, "Oh yeah!"
Oh, and he jumped.
And he jumped off the stage, and they all just moved to the side, and he just like hit the ground.
That's sadness.
So has this album sort of like changed your music taste? Because I thought you were a fan of Stooges for a lot longer than you were. Like, because I've known you for how many years now? Like. How many years have you been dating Josh?
Nearly 10.
Nearly 10 years. So like I was there like maybe 9 years. So yeah, so like in that 9 years, I've always sort of, seemed like I wasn't surprised when you said you liked the Stooges, but I didn't know that you had to go to college or you weren't a big fan until you went to college.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was a lot more like.
No, it was always a recent no.
Right.
And my oldest sister, she's cool. She likes cool stuff. So I got partially from her and just through David Bowie. Yeah. And yeah, it's only been like a 6 or so year thing. That's why I was like debating whether I should do him because I was like, I have like Marilyn Manson, for example, since I was like 8 or younger.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Let's get away with that.
My parents we're just like, that's cool, it's fine.
All right. Shout out to Cheyenne's parents.
Shout out to my parents, that's sick.
Cool.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
And fairly recent discovery compared to other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just happened, and now I'm just like, I'm in the sauce. I love it. They're super iconic. Yeah. Like, not enough people know about them. That's partially probably why. Because, again, want to do the opposite of gatekeeping. Yeah. Listen to, please. It will be forgotten.
Yeah. We gotta keep it alive. We gotta keep it alive. But yeah, especially the first album, because no one talks about the first album.
No idea.
It's Stooges, then it's raw power, basically. Yep. Or any like Lost for Life or like Iggy Pop or something like that.
They're all good.
Like the bands look.
Don't forget about them.
Yeah. It's like the band's overshadowed by other
everything else.
But then this first album is also overshadowed by the rest of the albums.
Yeah, it is because it does increase in quality. I can admit. Yeah. But this is like day one. Right. You got to give some respect to it. Yeah. Whether you like it or not. But it's just viewing old music through a modern lens really distorts people's view of it because they just reckon it's very basic and terrible. It is. But it's also good. Yeah. Shut up. Listen to it.
Shut up. You heard it here first. Shut up.
Shut up and listen to it because people are like, why? It's basic and, we got more inventive stuff now. Yeah. I think that's why. And it's hard to give context to it because we weren't born then. Yeah. We weren't born then.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
But just got to picture yourself in that moment and feel it.
Yeah. Feeling like, when this album came out, there was nothing else. Yeah.
There was nothing that people weren't having these guttural screams through a microphone, through a sick riff. Yeah. Really.
Yes.
So like, respected. And it started so many genres. Yeah. At least be aware of it. You don't have to like it, I guess. At least respect it.
Exactly. And where would you rate this album in like your top 10? Would it make it there, or is it more just like you like what it stands for more than what it actually sounds like, or is it you just genuinely all around love this album?
All around love it. Yep. I do like how it sounds though. Yeah. I do like it. It will be top 10.
Yep.
even adds a more cohesive album. It all flows together quite well. It's super iconic. It's like less quality than probably Raw Power, I'd say.
Yeah.
But Raw Power has a few songs better quality, not as a whole.
Right.
That's why I picked Self-Titled.
Yeah. There's no effects or anything like that. It's just Iggy just yelling.
Yelling.
It's raw.
And then the wah-wahs of the guitar.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy that they never like tried to change what they sound like. Like even though like they weren't that popular at the beginning, like it took them so long.
They didn't care.
And they're just like, no, we're going to keep doing what we enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't care about commercial success.
Yeah.
And it's like same with way after the artist has died. That's where it picks up.
Right.
And it kind of sucks. It's the same sort of thing, just like many years later, you're like, that was special. And they didn't know that. And you're like, I'm sorry, but it's really good. I'm sorry that you didn't get the recognition at the time.
Yeah.
But inspired everyone to make their music and build on that.
Like we wouldn't have the music industry we have today without Stooges. But yeah, it's funny how sort of normal the other band members are.
Yeah, they're just some dudes from the Midwest.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just like drugs a bit more than everyone else and just playing and riffing.
Yeah. And then
I don't get it.
Like,
and then, just Iggy's just had this special outward personality, star power, and love that the art scene, the arty people in New York, he loved it. And the rest of them are just like, I'm just some dudes. Please take me out of here. I don't get it.
Yeah. Like even in the documentary, like, interviewing the guitarist, and he just looked like a regular guy, just holding a guitar. Like,
it's amazing.
So normal. Like,
just some dudes
and everything, and it's like, perfect.
Yeah, that's good Ken from, the hardware store.
Yeah.
And he can rip out a sick riff.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know. I just liked it. Like, I don't think they thought it would take on the life that it has.
Right.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm just playing. I don't know.
Yeah. And didn't they, like, their first concert, they, like, break the pier that they were playing on or something like that? Like, there was too many people in there and the pier, like, a section of it collapsed.
Oh.
Yeah. Like in their first show, like they were getting such an energy from the crowd that and it was like packed out as well.
I love that. Yeah. I love that for them. That would have been huge to go to.
Yeah.
They had just a small-ish but cult following, and they were crazy for them, which they should have been.
Yeah.
Those people were right.
Shout out to those people.
Shout out to those people. I hope they're still around. Like, it's like...
Yeah,
you knew what was up.
Yeah, exactly. So would you say you're more of like an Iggy Pop fan or a Bowie fan?
Oh, that's a question.
If you had to choose one.
Why would you give me that question? Oh, my heart, my soul.
It's my job to ask a hard-hitting question.
Hard-hitting question.
That's it. That's my point. That's what I'm here to do.
I had so many good reasons for both. I guess David Bowie, he's just so sharp, so clean, so smart, well-articulated man.
Yeah.
Concepts just flowing from him. Everyone knows how great he is.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pick him today. Everyone knows he's great.
Yeah.
You don't need me to tell you that.
Yeah. Right.
But I respect Iggy so much. He's just like the chaotic cousin of David Bowie.
Yeah, it's interesting listening to this album like for the first time.
It's interesting.
And there isn't that much on this album. There's not many because it was from so long ago. Like not many interviews on it, and there's not much besides the documentary. I couldn't find that much on it.
Yeah,
like the Wikipedia page. I think I went on to like stoogesfacts.org or something like that, and it was like barely anything referencing this album. Like it's just
whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know why because it was damn good. Please. Don't forget about this.
Yeah. Stooges self-titled. Come on.
Self-titled, where's the respect? It really kicks off at Raw Power in terms of like notoriety and respect.
Yeah.
But this and Funhouse, they released that after. Banger of an album.
Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, why do you think it's been overlooked? Like this album, at least.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. I think people are just wrong. It's the kids are wrong. The kids. I think it's just basic. It's just basic.
Right.
Bare bones.
Yeah.
Rock. Repetitive. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But that's where it's going to start somewhere, baby.
Oh, that's it.
It's going to start.
That's it.
Yeah, the other ones are higher quality, I can admit.
Right.
The later albums, but I don't know. It's got to start from somewhere. And it's not half bad. It's not like it started and I'm just saying it's good because it's the first one.
Right.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. No, it's put together really well. Like, yeah, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like with like Iggy Pop's like minimal lyrics, like in that documentary, he mentioned like he explained why he has like so much of like a short vocabulary when when writing songs. Not vocabulary, but the amount of words that he uses in a song is quite small.
Yeah.
And he just admitted, he's like, I'm never going to be like Bob Dylan type of thing.
Yeah.
It's more just, he's going to just stick it straight to the point. And I think there was like an old TV show he used to watch where it's like a kid's show. And they could write into the host, and then like a week later, it'll read the note, you know, like, oh, Jeremy said this or whatever. But then to make it concise, and so I can get through all of them, the host had a rule. It's like 25 words or less. So if you want to write in 25 words or less, never more than that. And then Iggy saw that as a kid, and I just sort of stuck with him.
Yeah.
To the point where he's just yeah. So when it came to writing songs, he's like 25 words or less. And he's like, I think he said here, like, keep it really short and none of it will be the wrong thing.
True.
Which is like, yeah.
It's pretty galaxy brain of him.
Right.
People who think it's laziness, but it's just like, there are times for eloquently written words.
Yeah.
And then there's just times for a bit like, this would start happening.
Yeah.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. That's so smart. Why say much when few words do trick, as Kevin Malone says. Thanks, Office.
Exactly. Shout out to The Office.
Good job.
But the show was called Lunchtime with Soupy. There you go. I wrote that down for some reason. But yeah.
Why overcomplicate it?
Yeah.
Especially punk is an uncomplicated genre.
Yeah.
You just play basic chords, say a few things, and repeat it. And scream.
Yeah. Just scream it every time, and you're good to go. Punk, baby.
That's punk rock, baby. It's about not caring, not giving a damn.
That's it. Rebellious nature of punk rock. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I get it.
Yeah. And on that website, like the stoogesfacts.org or whatever, I went on. The only thing I could find, which is interesting, was Peter Jackson, like the director of Lord of the Rings.
Peter Jackson.
The one and only, you know.
Damn.
Everyone from work gives me shit because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's just, I feel like a cop out, like talking about Lord of the Rings without actually having seen it. But
they're really long. I get the
exactly.
It's a commitment.
Right? Exactly.
They're good, but it's a commitment. I get why not.
But yeah, so Peter Jackson was like looking for something for Gollum, like trying to figure out his movements and stuff like that. And he referenced Iggy Pop's like movements.
That's so funny.
Yeah, when he's live, like, he's crawling around and shit. Yeah, is that a compliment? I don't know.
Actually, we should ask him that. Hey, did you know about this? Is it a compliment? I'd say it's a compliment, but the fact that they took his move is very interesting.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets his name from. Like, they said he looked like an iguana. That's where they got the first band's name from.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then they just transformed it into the name he's got now.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad? I don't know. You're a cool reptile.
Cool reptile man without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't injure himself with all the weird shit he does on stage.
Oh, God,
like, more so than he already did. Like, how is he so flexible? It's so, like, that man.
That's on my shirt, actually.
Yeah.
Keep references. Mystical shirt. It's in my wardrobe. And
Very
he's
nice.
doing like a sick back bend.
Yeah.
But his hands aren't touching the ground.
Oh my God.
It's an unreal photo. And he just did that. And I'm like, my hip hurts looking at it. Boy, I'm 24.
Yeah.
My legs hurt looking at that. How did you do it?
Yeah.
And he did that for years.
Oh my God.
And then he
really?
would also do like all the crazy stuff, smash his nose cut himself with glass
Just
on stage because he's just pure gangster.
And I don't think it was to get attention. I think it was just him expressing how he felt. Like it wasn't like a show or something like that. He wasn't putting on an act.
I think it's a bit of both.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's like a bit like amplifying sort of how he feels.
How you feel.
Yeah.
And it's a character.
Right.
But it happens a lot with these sort of situations. The lines of the character and the person are quite blurred.
Yeah.
And they don't know who they are anymore, which is kind of scary and sad in a way.
Sorry, the mic is so tall, by the way.
No, it's
a tall
nice. It's nice. Really. It's like a legit, like I looked at it and like, damn, this is real podcast. It's happening.
Yeah. It's intimidating. It's great.
Why am I giving a platform to talk? I am just some guy.
That's the whole podcast. The whole podcast is just some dudes just talking.
Some idiot that you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about music.
Yeah, that's the way. That's the Jams way.
That's the Jams
just idiots talking about music.
That's the tagline. That's the James way. That's the way jamming goes with his like stream as well, us being stupid as hell.
Yeah. On my Twitch stream on Twitch stream. It was J Friends.
J Friends. Watch J Friends.
Yeah, whenever I do stream.
Do it because there's Minecraft and occasionally me being very bad at Rocket League if you want to see that. That's the plug for the day. That's the plug of the day. My Twitch stream, which I barely use because I put all my effort into the podcast. But yeah, go and do that. Just check it out. This is fine. Past J-Man and Shianne are so silly. Don't they know that J-Man's Twitch is up and running once again with a fancy new name? If you want to hang out with me and the rest of the Jam fam, head over to my Twitch at the J-Manski. Or you can find the link to my Twitch and all my other socials through my link tree at linktr.ee/Jmansky. Also, while you're there, you should check out the official Jams playlist where you can find 20 newly added songs by Shianne featuring Joy Division, The Cure, and Ballpark Music. Alright, back to the episode. Oh, do you want to shout out your Instagram, by the way? Do you have an Instagram that you actually you shout out or anything? Or not really? I didn't have much of an online presence because I don't know. I feel weird being acknowledged as a person. What do you mean? I don't know. It's just weird. There's something wrong with me, or I was just meant to be born decades earlier. So you don't like the whole online presence? No, hell no. You don't like people. I would kill you if you acknowledged me online. If you tell me to get Instagram, I'll karate chop you. Oh, no. Okay, I just won't send you the promotional stuff I used for this episode with us just talking. Send it to Josh. He'll show me. And then, I don't know. I won't use Instagram. I don't I don't do anything. Yeah. I'm just... You don't do anything? I don't do anything. That's what the point of Instagram would be, to be like, look at these things I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just working. I'm tired. No one wants to see that because that's just not content. I think you know a lot about music, though. We've had a lot of good conversations over the years. True. When I thought of the podcast idea, I think you were one of the first people to come to mind. I was spinning in a vortex of thoughts for this. And not in a bad way because it's just exciting. Yeah. But being like, oh, God, I got to talk. Oh, God. I'm just threatening you to be on, Yeah, that's it. But I was also excited about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of the things people making you go out, you don't want to go, but you're out and you're having fun. Yeah. It's one of those things. That guy. That's the podcast. And then I don't want to leave. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a podcast, and that's just talking to me in general. I feel so bad to anyone who's been trapped in a conversation with me, especially about music. I'm just throwing out recommendations, and you're like... Me too, yeah. Why? Why am I here? Yeah. Because, what are the chances they do go listen to this random band I just suggested, and it's their favourite band ever? That'll be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to change your life, boy. Yeah, that mentality. Yeah. I'm not going to also force you because it's whatever you want. You do you, Captain. You do you, but also... Listen to this. Well, actually, there is a I haven't prepped you for this at all, but there is your face just the shock. You're like, God damn it. No, there's a Jams playlist. Oh, you might see if you follow me on Instagram, jmansky_, just putting that plug there. So there's a playlist of jams, and so it's a guest every episode, 20 songs that I choose. So it's 1 or 2 from the album, but then besides that, whatever. Free reign.
So is there anything that you're interested that will be on that playlist when this episode goes live?
God, that is huge. It's
a huge question.
Ask. You need to put me on the spot.
I know.
Because if you give me time, I would just think about it forever.
Exactly.
And spiral.
Yep.
Favorite songs of all time. I'm going to list them for you.
Okay.
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Yep.
Joy Division. Losing My Religion. REM.
Yep.
Friday I'm in Love. The Cure.
Nice.
They would definitely show up there.
Yeah, cool.
I love those songs with my whole heart and soul.
Yep.
And then I should probably mix it up because I love old music, but it sounds like I'm trapped in the past. But I'm always looking at new music. So listen to ballpark music and King Stingray.
King Stingray. I don't know King Stingray.
I'm telling people because it was NAIDOC week a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And Indigenous Australians, they're having their moment. They should. So they should.
Yeah.
And King Stingray, they're from Northern Territory.
Yeah.
And 3 white guys, 2 Indigenous Australians.
Yeah.
And they incorporate the didgeridoo.
Right.
They incorporate the language in the songs as well as a rock song as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
They're so
check them out.
good. So I will jam some of that in there.
Jam some of that into the jam playlist.
Yeah.
Well, similar to like Baker Boy, who
Baker Boy,
raps, both languages.
He's a funky little man. He's
How good
great.
is Baker Boy?
Yeah, he's lovely. He looks like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love seeing him. And I'm always up to date with all that stuff, so I'm always going to jam that in there.
Yeah.
And then keep looking back because there are some past songs out there that are essential. Whether you like it or not, that is essential
Very
listening.
Essential. Yeah,
I'll kill you if you don't.
You'll find where they live. You'll find where my listeners live and stab them. Is that what they're threatening? Is that what you're threatening?
I'm not threatening, but as my good friend said the other day when someone was trying to merge in front of her, I will send God to your house. I'll send God to your house if you don't listen to, the Beatles, the Doors, the Stooges. I will send God to your house.
That's it. You got to listen to the Shianne section of the Jams playlist, which will be like so far in because this is episode 7. So you got like 6 people in front of you, but that's fine. It'll be there.
That's fine. Can't complain. I'm involved. I'm included. I love that.
Yep.
I don't care where I am. Being included is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way.
And just forcing people to listen to my bullshit. That's what I love.
Well, with the, the Stooges were influential, as we were just saying, they didn't know how influential they were until 20, 30 years later almost. Do you think that there is a band now, well, this is a hard question, but do you think there is a band now that is sort of in a Stooges place where they were in the late 60s? Where, you look at them now, and in 20 years, they would have revolutionized music.
Damn. That's the question. That is a question.
That's a question and a half.
You don't know these things at the time. Mm-hmm. I really hope there are some, because a lot of people reckon we have this conversation all the time with other people that music has kind of stalled in a way of being inventive. But we say that now because nothing seems inventive until later. Yeah. It's easy to say that now, but we're always looking back to the 70s and so because that's, they're still super influential and iconic music from there that we still keep coming back to and just been like, has there been something like that since then? I don't know. Are we in that time where we don't know? We just know later. Yeah. I really wish I had an answer.
Yeah, it is a hard question though. Yeah. It is a hard.
You don't know until later.
Is there any band that is just putting out completely different stuff to any other band that you know?
Completely different genre. Suicide Boys.
Yep.
They're doing something. They're doing stuff. Right. They are mixing rap and metal in this weird grey line. I would have to say they're quite unique and different. And I don't get why a lot of people wouldn't like them. Yeah. They sound weird. But you find a song and you're like, nah, I get it. And then you go back and you go through it and you're like, nah, I get it. This is good. This is unique. I would say Suicide Boys.
Suicide Boys, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Completely different genre, but that's straight up front of my head band.
I feel like all Suicide Boys fans I know are very passionate about that band. It's funny that it's similar to like the Stooges, where their fan base wasn't the biggest in the world, but the fans they did have
Dedicated.
was super thing. Yeah. And it's like even like Death Grips, all these like I think the consistency between those like three bands would be like they're different from whatever else is going on now. And some people really gel with that to the point where like that's like their favorite band, that's their number one. But they're still not like mainstream.
Mainstream, yeah.
It's
yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Or they will be the base for other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
In many years, but that hasn't come, so we don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But
well, I appreciate you, like, I was about to say coming out and recording this podcast, but I brought everything.
You came here.
Yeah.
You were at my house.
Yeah. And then I forgot a cord, so I had to go back home. But
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. Thank you for coming out to my house. And you bought pizza and stuff, which is sick.
Of course, yeah. Got to get always pizza time.
For the boys. Pizza time.
Yeah, and for Gordon and Josh, who aren't even in the room because they've been hiding in the
they don't want to make a noise.
They've been very good, and so is your neighbors. I was worried about upstairs.
Me too. They were
having a dance contest at like 2:00 in the afternoon. But
whoever lives above me, I hate you.
I hate you.
I hate you so much. I know it's super mean.
You just give what's an opposite of a shout out? We just got to do whatever that is.
Shout down.
Shout down. There we go. Give a shout down to upstairs. You
Fuck
suck.
You. But the fact that you came here and you got comfortable in this space, which I hope people are.
Of course, yeah.
You try to make it comfortable.
No, it is a very nice environment.
People are all the time, which is great.
You got my dad's old couches over here.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Keno.
Shout out to Keno. Yeah.
Those are some sick chairs.
He doesn't get enough love on the podcast.
No, he doesn't. No, he should be aware of that your couches are running alive and well.
Shout out to Keno. That's your only shout out. Shout outs to Warframe, Shin Dogs, and my dad.
yeah, that's it. But also shout out Ono Sheriff, best team Rocket League.
Yeah, let's go.
Josh, Ariels, Jax, the best front runner, Ronaldo himself.
Yeah, the one and only.
And I'm just some dude. I'm so.
You can actually do both, unlike Josh and I.
No, you guys are so good. I'm just some dude. I'm just there to film the third spot and occasionally do something sick.
That's it. That's the Rocket League way, though.
Compared to you guys. That's what you see on J Friends.
Yeah, with J Friends.
Watch J Friends.
Yeah.
Do it.
On Twitch. Do it. So you have to do a lot of things.
This is a threat.
This is a threat. So you got to listen to Stooges self-titled.
Yeah,
you need to add you and Warframe at Shin Dogs.
Yeah.
And they got to listen to my Twitch stream at the J Friends, which I might change to J Mansky for continuity.
Yeah, fair.
But whatever it is, it will be on my link tree. So check out my link tree, lovely listener.
Check it out.
or Shianne will send God to your doorstep.
I'm going to go to your house.
Yeah. She'll find it. Well, thank you once again, Shianne. This has been great to actually have this chat and record it instead of just...
It's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I feel bad because I talk so much shit.
That's the point. It's the podcast. We're meant to talk shit. That's all we got.
True.
That's all right. We'll be back for another episode sooner or later anyway, and you can talk about something else.
Yeah, I have concepts flowing.
Yeah, you've sent me a couple of them. Like, these sound really good.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, calm down. This is one episode.
Just one. Do whatever you feel.
Stop.
All right, cool. All right. Thank you again, Shianne.
Yeah, thank you.
Goodbye.
Good, I promise. That's really what it is. The tagline is good, I promise. Please listen to me.